Hello and welcome, all friends and devotees of yoga and Buddhist meditations, yoga and Buddhist reflections. Today again is June the 18th, 2019, Tuesday, and I'm going to continue my lectures. I'm just going to continue dishing out these treasures of wisdom as Master Singh Yung has been so generous and so kind to bring it out to the world. And I see that many Nigerians have not received it. As a Nigerian, I picked it up because I'm a Nigerian American. It's the American side that picked it up and passed it over to the Nigerian side. Okay, if I had not come to the US, I would never have been so fortunate to have got these great teachings. Okay? But as a Nigerian American, I came to the US and there was so much Buddhism around, I was able to go to the schools and pick up this great treasure of wisdom, which I now share with those of you who are interested in learning. Okay, whosoever is interested in learning, there's a lot to be learned. If you want to be wise, there's so much wisdom. You can live your life wisely. I promise you. If a person is determined, resolved, I want to live my life wisely, and I'm serious about this, you will live your life wisely. I don't want to make stupid mistakes. I don't want to do stupid things. I want to live life wisely. Then you will live your life wisely. There's wisdom. Every step in this world, there is wisdom. It's just a matter of being determined. So once you have the resolve, once you have the determination to live your life wisely, I think the wise idea is the better idea. I think I want to adopt wisdom, and I want to use wisdom in walking my steps. Every step of my life, I want to walk with wisdom. Then it's available. All you have to do is take it. There's a lot of wisdom. It's your determination. So once you are determined to walk with wisdom, there is wisdom. And that's what we share. Master Singh Yung has offered a giant oracle here. It is that oracle that I've taken, that treasure I've taken to disseminate. Whosoever will, you can have as much as you please. Okay? It's just a matter of being determined. Those people who see wisdom, goats and cows and bulls, they have no value for wisdom. And pigs and swines. So they wallow in the mud and in the dust. Because all they live for is instinct. We live to eat. All they live to do is eat. And then die. There's nothing else in life that is better than eating, so they eat, and die. So for those who that's their karma, then that's all they can, they can be. But no, there are some other, like I was when I was younger, right? Hey, I sought wisdom. Wisdom. You just cannot rest. No, I want to find wisdom. I have to find wisdom. I have to get it. This was my childhood. I sought it. I went after it. And now I have plenty of it. You see? So it's what you want that you get. People say, I never want wisdom. I want wisdom. I think it's better to live a wise life. I want my life to be lived wisely. I want to use my time wisely. I want to live a life of wisdom. I want to walk with the footsteps of wisdom. Every step I take in life, I don't want any regret. I want to walk with steps of wisdom. There are some people who are determined to live with wisdom, to use time wisely, to live a life of wisdom, so that ultimately at the end of the day, there will be joy when you finally settle. Take a retrospective look. Yeah, I'm satisfied. I lived a life of wisdom. Wisdom is so satisfying, folks. Live a life of wisdom. Use time wisely, and you'll be happy. Have your pen and your paper ready, and I'll read to you some of the wisdom of Master Singh Yung. Let's just keep reading. Trees have roots, and water has springs. If the roots are wide and deep, then trees can grow tall and strong. From a spring, water can flow far and long. In conducting ourselves, we also need to pay attention to our fundamentals in order to establish ourselves in life. The fundamentals of life are as follows. 1. Master Singyung is beginning to give us, again, what I call the golden keys, right? The golden treasures of wisdom. So you have to pay attention, and then you have to begin to write down for reflection and meditation. We can't do that here, but, after this time, you have the whole rest of 24 hours to practice, right? So all we are doing right now is just jotting notes, okay? So 1, knowing propriety and justice is fundamental to conducting ourselves. We have to focus on propriety and justice in life as they are basic to being human. They are what make humans different from animals, such as pigs and cattle. Besides seeking food several times a day, these animals have no other aspirations. Does that sound like what I was just saying a couple of minutes ago? They live to eat. All you do is just eat and die. So I'm sorry to those who are here to eat and die. So go ahead. But it's going to stop you. You say, okay, eat and die. That's all you came to. Sometimes you have to be mindful of life, right? Is that all I came to do in life? Just eat, sleep and die? There are some people in this world who are just eating, sleeping and dying. That's all. Eat, sleep, die. Eat, sleep, die. Those are the 3 activities of life. Eat, sleep, die. Eat, sleep, die. Is that all in life? No. Life is more than eating and sleeping to die. Life is more than that. Okay? So think, and then get beauty out of life, get brilliance get sunshine out of life. Life is not just eat, sleep, and perish. Okay? So that's wisdom. Explore wisdom. Take some wisdom. Marry wisdom. Embrace wisdom. And you'll see some sunshine. Right? Let the light shine. You see a lot of brilliance. A lot of sunshine in your own life. Okay? Besides seeking food several times a day, these animals have no other aspirations. However, as a higher order of living beings, humans have to tend to their spiritual and mental lives in addition to clothing, food, and shelter, and transportation. People need to build a community with order, okay? Ethics, conscience, and justice. Okay, human beings are doing much more than animals. We are not animals. We are, we are divine beings. We are gods, actually. Right? Is that John chapter 10, verse 34. You need biblical? You have to read the Bible to figure out that we are gods. Well, it's in the Bible. John 10, 34. No other person could have said it than Christ. You are gods. John chapter 10, verse 34. Okay? And then Buddha, of course, says the same thing. We all have Buddha nature. So stop sleeping. Wake up. Develop your Buddha nature. Okay? Once propriety and justice are lost, we are hardly human anymore and cannot create a human society. 2. Appreciating the big picture is fundamental in dealing with the world and conducting ourselves. This means we must be considerate of others, our community, and our country, because they are the larger part of us. If we only think of ourselves and look after our own narrow interests, ignoring the benefits of society and country, we will not be able to appreciate the big picture of life. We must be mindful of the needs of the community we live in before we can find our niche in society. Therefore, appreciating the big picture is fundamental in dealing with the world around us. Your job is not to try to understand any of this right now. Sorry, guys, but to write it down. I keep telling you the secret of how to do it, right? Just take notes. That's what we used to do when I was a university student in those days. That's all I did, okay? I can remember the lecture theaters, giant lecture theaters. 500, we call them 500 lecture theaters. I went to one of the biggest universities in Nigeria 30 years ago when I was under 20, okay? 16 to 19, I was on campus studying engineering physics at University of Ife, now called Obafemi Awolowo University. It's one of the major institutions, one of the top universities in Nigeria. That's where I was fortunate enough to have had my undergraduate education 30 years ago. Okay, as an undergrad at 16 or 17 or 18 or 19, okay, before I came to the United States at 21, right? I had some time off and then came here to US to continue. As an undergraduate student, it was very important. Okay, I did try to meditate on some of these things, but they were not always available, right? Once your mind is geared towards wisdom, you're going to see it coming. There were times I read philosophy, I read Confucius. Okay, memorized all these things. It's a part of childhood, it's a part of search. Today I can just rest contented and be satisfied when I think about those things. That's probably what you want to be in the future. You want to be able to rest. You look back at your life and there's no regret. Okay? Wisdom is very vast. It's like a swimming pool, right? Like a river, like an ocean. All you have to do is dive into it. And you have plenty of fun. That's what wisdom is. You can't regret. There's no regret in wisdom. Just dive. Jump into the water and you learn how to swim. Okay? Abiding by the law is fundamental to gaining freedom. In getting along with others, people need rules and regulations for everyone to follow so that they will not infringe upon each other. This is the third golden treasure. For instance, the laws of a country, the bylaws of an organization, and the regulations of a school all function as guidelines and boundaries for their members. With guidelines provided by a legal system, no one will transgress the boundaries, and society can function in an orderly manner. In this way, personal freedom will be protected. In Buddhism, the 5 precepts of refraining from killing, stealing, lying, sexual misconduct, and taking intoxicants prevent people from infringing upon the life, property, reputation, trust, and wisdom of one another. Therefore, the 5 precepts are fundamental to being human. Okay? These key teachings in Buddhism is what is called the 5 precepts. The 5 precepts, because many of you come to learn from my class are not yet very well exposed to Buddhism. That's why I'm stressing it right now. They are called the 5 precepts. Okay, what I just recited: refraining from killing, not stealing, not lying, no avoiding sexual misconduct, and do not take intoxicants. They are called the 5 precepts. Do not kill, do not steal, do not lie, do not fornicate, do not commit adultery. Okay? Fornicate and committing adultery, that is, have sex with only your spouse, married spouse. Don't cross the boundaries. Don't go outside that boundaries. Okay? And then do not take intoxicants. Something you know is going to intoxicate your system, avoid it. Okay? These are the 5 precepts of Buddhism. Okay? Therefore, the 5 precepts are fundamental to being human. I'm just explaining them so you can get a better understanding. Okay, and getting along with others. If we are unable to uphold the 5 precepts, we are lacking in humanity. To observe them is to abide by the law. This is fundamental to our conduct. 4. Distinguishing right from wrong is fundamental to understanding the mind. There are so many questions of right or wrong, good or bad in this world, that it is very difficult to differentiate between these extremes using absolute standards. Therefore, we cannot rely on just our own understanding to judge others and make demands upon them. However, not having an absolute standard does not mean we should not know right from wrong. In our conscience, we still need to have our own basic standard for right and wrong, good and bad. We must know and understand them clearly. so we can have good discernment. With sound discernment, free of delusion, we can judge right from wrong, okay, and distinguish good from bad. When we have a clear mind, we will not suffer from any delusions. So this is what I was saying, that all I need you to do is just to be taking notes right now. When I'm lecturing, as I'm lecturing right now, all you do is just take notes. Take notes, okay? As I said, this is not a babysitting session. You are not kids. So this is an advanced study school, right? Online school, okay? This is an institute for advanced studies. You guys are supposed to be advanced. Okay, so you know when to lift your pen, you know when to use your pen, you know when to use your paper. Okay, you know when to jot notes, you know what is of importance. That's the meaning of advanced. You are advanced students. Okay, some of you hold doctorates, some of you hold first degrees, some of you hold master's degrees. Okay, and if you are not advanced students, then you may not like this institute. This is an institute for advanced studies. Okay, online. So when you are coming, you come with, preparation for advanced learning. When I'm reading, all you're doing is just taking notes. That's all. Points, quickly, from Venerable Grandmaster Singyum. Okay, he has universities all over the world. So these are the products of that. You pick points, fast, of importance. Then when you go back to your, where you have more time, you now reflect and meditate upon these things. I'm going to summarize very quickly. The Great Learning says, things have their roots and their branches. That's what I've been thinking about since. I knew this was the philosophy of Mencius. It sounded like the philosophy of Mencius. For those who don't know who Mencius is the greatest scholar of Confucius. He was the greatest, like Peter to Jesus Christ. Okay, Mencius is the biggest follower of Confucius. Okay, and that was a very famous teaching of Mencius. Things have their roots and their branches. Affairs have their end and their beginnings. Of course, we memorized these things in those days. To know what is first and what is last will bring one closer to the way. Okay, when we understand the fundamentals of life, we are close to following the way. Of course, this is the principle of that great man, Mencius, the greatest scholar and follower of Confucius. You can call him Deputy Confucius. So, folks, we need to reflect and meditate upon these great teachings. Namo Amitofo.